What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my collection corner here on the WRESTLEDUDE YouTube channel. As today, like always with this series, we are going through all of the new stuff that I'm adding into my respective collections of action figures and Funko Pops and stuff like that. But today, as you can tell by the thumbnail and by the title, today is a very special day because this is pretty much an overwhelming amount of customized stuff. Now, obviously, my collecting started with falling down the rabbit hole of collecting Funko Pops. Then I fell down the rabbit hole of collecting wrestling figures. And then I fell down the rabbit hole of collecting Toy Story stuff. Now I'm falling down the rabbit hole of creating my own custom wrestling figures because there are some cases where, I want to have some sort of like specific wrestling figure in my collection, but for whatever reason, like it doesn't exist or it can't be made for some reason, or there's a figure that comes out that I feel like I can improve on better. So there are multiple examples of that you're going to see here today, from ranging from small changes to complete repaints to a figure that is of a wrestler that possibly could never have a custom figure. Who knows, though? But yeah, all this stuff is amazing, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. So before we get started, make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video to show your support for the channel. I appreciate everybody that's watching. I'm gonna keep that flub in because you gotta seem vulnerable. Wow, Jacob's such a great person. He's cool with making a fool out of himself. Um, but yes, there's quite a bit to get in here today. There's actually, there's one Funko Pop here, which is weird considering this entire show used to be Shop for a Pop, where I just talked about all the Funko Pops that I had collected, but it has evolved into so much over time. To the point where we have more figures than Funkos. So yeah, we have a Funko Pop. We've got obviously wrestling figures. We've got some comic book stuff. We even got a little bit of a collection that I guess I'm starting. It's a small collection, but one that I guess I'm starting very, very soon. But let's hop right into it here with the man that you can see right here in the background. Let's pull him out here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Deadpool. I have him on a Funko Pop stand just because I sat him up before, just like without the stand, and he quickly fell over. So I grabbed one of my extra Funko Pop stands that I had just because for the Funko Pop that it came with, I didn't need a stand because the Funko stood up perfectly on its own. But yeah, I use it to set up my Deadpool here. But yeah, it's a great figure. I recently rewatched the first Deadpool movie, and I plan on watching the second one probably after I'm done filming and editing this. But that first one was just really, really good. And so I was looking up online for Deadpool Marvel Legends, and oddly enough, the only version from the movies that I've seen is like in this version, they have the gray suited version from Deadpool 2. But in this red suit, the only one that I could find was from a 2-pack with him and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And so I looked on eBay, and someone actually sold it just separate. But what they did was they cut his like piece of plastic out of the packaging and just sold it like that. So this is legit how it came. Well, obviously it was wrapped up in bubble wrap and stuff, but this is legit how it came, like in the packaging, just like this, cut out. So it does come with all the accessories. I've got his katanas in his back here, and he will go on my comic book shelf next to my very few Marvel action figures. I only have like a couple actual like Marvel figures. The majority of the stuff on my comic book shelf is Batman, and even more specifically, it's stuff from the Batman Arkham games, which is pretty funny. But I do like those games. So, but yeah, that is a very nice figure. Glad I got it for a really good price too. Um, let's see. Let's start off with a or let's start off in terms of customs. Let's start off with a small custom that I did. Now I have the Ultimate Edition Alexa Bliss, but I was thinking maybe I can make it a little bit more ultimate, which is a video that I'm fairly certain should be filmed pretty soon as to how I made it even more ultimate. But this is obviously going to be showing off a bit of a little custom job that I did. I took a head from a basic Alexa Bliss that I had just kind of laying around, didn't really have her on display at all. And I actually repainted the eyes and the mouth a little bit, so that way my Ultimate Alexa Bliss could have another head option rather than just the two that it came with. So yeah, like I said, some custom jobs were a little bit smaller than others. Obviously, that one was fairly easy to do. This one as well was fairly easy to do. It was just a full-on repaint job of an Alexa Bliss action figure I had to recreate her attire from Extreme Rules 2021. It took place in my hometown, and I guess in her hometown of Columbus, Ohio. And she had like a cool, like red and black and white themed gear. I'm trying to get this to autofocus. It won't. Ooh. Hello? Autofocus? Come on. There we go. Jeez Louise, it takes so long to autofocus. But yeah, I just repainted the gear, added in all the play and pain stuff, which, to be honest, was kind of a pain to do so myself. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good, and then I just heated up the head that was originally on it, popped that sucker off, and added on the Ultimate Edition head, so now it fits. So yeah, quite a few I guess Alexa Bliss custom stuff that I've been working on recently. That stuff, and then I did the stuff that's coming in a later video, I should say. Um, what do we want to do next? Well, since we were talking about Alexa Bliss and her more fiendish version, I guess we should kind of talk about the person that kind of led her down that path, which is Bray Wyatt, who is currently in this straitjacket. Now, I was searching for some stuff for some customs that I was going to be working on, and I found this website. It's like wrestlingfigures.co. They're actually the same company that I believe sell these like rising stars of wrestling figurines and stuff like that. Yeah, Figures Toy Co. That's the name of the company. But they also sell a bunch of like wrestling accessories for your action figures and stuff like that. And one of the things that they sold were straight jackets, which I thought was a pretty cool accessory, something very unique. And so I bought one, and I thought, well, who better to put a straight jacket on, at least to test it out and display, than Bray Wyatt? Obviously, a man that is very insane, split personality, talks to puppets and stuff like that, and apparently coerces women into being insane, schoolgirl, telekinetic, hypnotic, just a lot of crazy shit. That's why he's in the vest. But yeah, it looks very nice. The only problem that I really had with it was getting him in it, which is actually kind of funny because the whole idea is they're not supposed to be able to get out of it, but I couldn't even get him in it. So what I had to do actually was cut a long thing down the back of this so that way he could just kind of slide straight in with his arms. But I did tie up the arms. I'm gonna see maybe what other figures this can fit on, because originally I wanted to get this for Dexter Loomis just because I thought that would be a cool little accessory for him. But yeah, Bray Wyatt was a nice second choice to kind of show off how it looks. Also from that website, I also picked up some jeans, which actually I used when I bought this big Cass action figure, and I put the jeans on them. I'm pinching the back just because obviously they are a little bit too big for him, but I was making a W. Morrissey custom, the easiest custom to be made. But yeah, W. Morrissey, part of Impact Wrestling, the former Big Cass in WWE. I just wanted to make a nice little custom of him just because I've been enjoying his work in Impact Wrestling, and I think he's been doing great. So yeah, that was my quick W. Morrissey custom. I might grab like a pin or something and kind of pinch the back so that way the pants actually look like they fit them. But I think the size of these pants are supposed to fit the company's figures that they sell themselves, which are notoriously a little bit bigger in scale compared to other wrestling figures. I don't think they're in scale with Mattel and stuff like that, which is why the pants and even that straight jacket looks a little bit too big. That's the case. But like I said, grab some pins and stuff like that, and the pants will look fine on them. What is in this bag? I forget. Oh, right. This is all the other custom stuff that I bought. So there were some other goodies that I bought from that website. One of them being this little case, but I'm going to set that off to the side because that has a little bit more that we'll talk about later on. Let's see here. A little grab bag. This is the little baggie with Big Cass's like t-shirt and extra hands in it, so a little fodder. I have the 24/7 championship. I bought this from Figure Giants. They're a company that sells a bunch of like random action figure parts that you use for custom figures, which I did grab something from there to work on a custom. Um, let's see. Oh, a little sticker. There's for Figure Giants. That's the company. So cheap, cheap plug for them, I guess. I bought another kendo stick, or I guess on their website they had it listed as a candlestick. So I guess they must have gotten the pronunciation of it wrong. These I actually bought just because I had the idea of making these, but then I saw that they were being sold online separately, so I bought them myself. It's not all of them, but I have four of the Firefly Funhouse puppets. Originally, I was actually going to use some clay to try and make my own, but then I saw a picture online of like the ringside exclusive Bray Wyatt that came with these, and I never really paid attention to that exclusive, so I never knew that it came with the puppets, so I never knew they were made. But then I saw on eBay these were all being sold separately. So I bought this 4-pack, and then from the same company, Figure Giant, I bought the Huskus the Pig Boy. So I will have pretty much all of the puppets here. I mean, I guess the only one that really I'd be missing out on was Wally the Walrus, the Paul Heyman parody one, but they didn't even make a action figure thingy of that. So even though Bray Wyatt is no longer in WWE, I am just collecting anything and everything that had to do with his amazing Firefly Funhouse gimmick, I guess you could say. But yeah, some very cool, I guess, little custom bits there bought off of places like eBay or Figure Giants. But yeah, they all came together to make some really cool stuff. Um, let's see. I'm trying to decide what to show you guys next. I guess we'll show off the Funko Pop thing. I actually just bought this the other day. This is the Becky Lynch Target Con 2022 Funko Pop, her with both championships. I'm filming this a couple days after Target Con 2022. It's actually the 27th of February, so depending on when this video goes out, it might be months from now. But yeah, I picked this up. There was like a couple left there when I went. Nice pop. I like how it looks with the belts. I'm definitely going to display it in the front row here of my wrestling Funko Pop section. Yeah, looks great. And I'm glad that I got it for a really cheap price in the store because online, the next day when I got home, I looked online and some of these were going for like 50 bucks. So glad I got it for 12. Or was it 12? I think it might actually have been less than that. I can't remember now. But yeah, very nice pop. Very, very cool moment, especially there with Becky Lynch. Let's see. Ooh, I do want to show this off. I also got this at Target. The same day I got that Becky Lynch, I was going down the wrestling figure section aisle and I saw this Shinsuke Nakamura from Elite Series 81, which I believe came out maybe like a year and a half ago. And it was weird that they still had these on the shelf even after a year and a half. They had this one, and then they also had, not from the same set, but they had two of the Chase Keith Lee Elites in like his gray and pink attire. Two Chases. Now I left them behind because I already have a Keith Lee action figure and I'm not really a completionist when it comes to like, oh my god, I've got to collect the Chases, you know, like leave them for the people that actually do want them. I also saw a Jake the Snake Roberts Chase action figure, but I also left that behind just because I already have a Jake the Snake action figure, and to be honest, I think I have the cooler version with the flaming trunks. That's just my opinion, though. But yeah, very cool to see the Chases out in the open in the stores, and very cool to come across this. I did have a Shinsuke Nakamura action figure before. It was another one of his elites. He came with like a red jacket and stuff like that, but I sold him a while ago. So nice to have this version, and it comes with that new Intercontinental Championship, which I mean, on the surface, it's a nice championship, but I'm personally just a bigger fan of the white strap, the classic look that Cody Rhodes had. But hey, maybe that's the reason why they took it away in the first place, and who knows? Depending on if Cody goes back to WWE, like I said, I'm filming this video on the 27th of February, so who knows what could happen. But if Cody comes back to WWE, who knows? Maybe they might bring back that championship design again. Um, Speaking of championships, big shout out to this next person that I'm about to talk about. We got Bad Billy J Belts. I discovered his Etsy page a while back, and he creates custom wrestling figure championship titles. And I asked him to create me some custom ones. These are not on sale on his shop, but I asked him to create me the ECW Television Championship. You guys probably can't see it right now, but yeah, very good detail on it. The ECW Television Championship, and then also the Impact Wrestling Digital Media Championship. So you got that one there. Yeah, nice little close up on that. I wonder if I can do the same thing with this one. Hold on, hold on. Wait for close up. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, I got those two, and if you're wondering why, it's because I've been trying to build up my, I guess, championship collection for Matt Cardona, who's just collecting championships like he collects figures, and I guess how I collect figures. But yeah, he won the ECW championship from Rhino at like an indie event, and then proceeded to throw the championship in the trash, a la Medusa in WCW, and then more recently he won the Digital Media Championship. So very happy to have those in the collection. My Super 7 figure of Matt Cardona and Brian Myers should be coming soon, so might do a separate video for that. And who knows, it might come out even before this video, just because I might do a separate like review unboxing type video for it. Let's go with this guy. Obviously, you probably saw him in the background for a little while, but I picked up this Build-A-Figure Paul. I nearly said Paul Heyman. Paul Bearer. This will go on my Undertaker shelf with my Evolutions of the Undertaker. Came with the urn. Very nice price. Like I said, Build-A-Figure already completed. Build-A-Figures are very difficult to come by, so I was glad to find this online for a fairly good price, and very happy to have that in the collection. Now, I contemplated whether or not, because Paul Bearer is a big part of The Undertaker's career, I was contemplating whether or not I should get Kane as well. But ultimately I decided against it just because, shelf space, pricing, and then you gotta wonder, like, oh, what version of Kane do I get? Do I get his debut version? Do I get, like, WrestleMania 20 version? Do I get, like, the later years version? Do I get the modern day version? There's a lot of different versions that I would be choosing between. So I just decided not to go with it at all, and instead I have Paul Bearer, which is a plus. If I have to choose between Kane and Paul Bearer, apologies to Kane, but I'm gonna go with Paul. So don't set me on fire or electrocute my nuts like you did to Shane McMahon. Let's see. Ooh, I guess we can come back to this now that we have some space cleared. So obviously I got this also from Figures Toy Company, another accessory. It is a cooler, and it is a cooler that opens. I have the back of it kind of taped up so that way the lid doesn't pop off at all, but it is actually full of something. Now you may wonder, what's inside? What's in the box? What's in the cooler? Well, I found an Etsy page that actually creates miniature items, and I actually got some miniature Pabst Blue Ribbon cans. Now you may be wondering, WrestleDude, why the hell did you get miniature Pabst Blue Ribbon cans? And I got, how many did I get here? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 11 of these, and I don't have 11 in my hand. I have 2 missing, but you may be wondering why I got these. Well, because I wanted to have some nice accessories, again, for my Major Wrestling Figure podcast figures, because I actually heated up both of their hands a bit so that way the Steed grip could actually hold it, but they are now holding some Pabst Blue Ribbon cans, which I think is a very nice touch. I think they actually did like an exclusive like action figure set thing that came with like some miniature Pabst cans, but obviously I couldn't afford that, so instead I went for the next best thing, which honestly I do really like the detail on these cans. I think the person on the Etsy shop did a really great job. They not only sold Pabst, but they sold like a bunch of other different brands of beer. But the funny thing was, obviously the logos are copywritten, so in order to avoid copyright, the pictures on the site actually have the logo blurred out, but obviously you can tell by the color scheme. So yes, I have this little bucket cooler of Pabst Blue Ribbon, which will go right here. And then another friend of mine, a good guy that I collect custom wrestling belts from, not bad belts Billy J or whatever. Wrestling Customs 24/7 is actually making me a one of a kind custom Pabst Blue Ribbon Championship based off of the Pabst Blue Ribbon Championship that the Major Wrestling Figure podcast made. So that's coming, and then he's working on another custom belt for me. So at some point, those will be on one of these episodes. But yeah, really cool, nice little accessory there for my big group. Speaking of the Major Wrestling Figure podcast group, I guess that's a good segue into our next item, which is going to be this custom Chelsea green that I worked on. Now, I've done a custom Chelsea green before, but this one actually took the most work out of the two. This is a custom Chelsea green featuring her attire from the World on GCW in the Hammerstein Ballroom. And this was a lot of customization. So first off, we have the custom kendo stick with the major purple paint, or I guess tape coloring on it, which is why I had to buy a new kendo stick, so that way this one could be displayed with Hikaru Shida, and then this one could be displayed with I Am Chelsea Green. I don't know why I said her social media tag, but I guess I just remembered it because I tagged her in this once I finished it the other day. So yeah, another cool detail that I did on this, I actually not melted, but I heated up the hand well enough to where I could bend the fingers back, and I bent it into the middle finger, so she's posed permanently with the middle finger and the other fingers are glued down. I remolded the hair completely, so I melted the head. I keep saying melted. I boiled the head to where the hair would be very flexible and I could pull it off. This was the original hair. I pulled off all of the original hair here, and then I remolded it and reshaped it into the hair that she was wearing at the show. And obviously, I repainted the gear here. I did the entire top with the Chelsea 469 and all the little white dots and stuff. The classic Zack Ryder style trunks here, which I think was a really good touch. I think, I mean, obviously this is my own work, but I think I did a really great job on this. A very cool attire, a very cool moment, and very fun show the World on GCW was. Every GCW show is great, and they're especially great when it involves Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green. So very happy to have this on here. I don't know, I don't want to try and create any more Chelsea Greens or any more Matt Cardonas, but I mean, they just have some of the most cool toyetic gear in all of pro wrestling. So obviously I was going to try and recreate this one. And personally, I would say I did a pretty damn good job. I think I might retire displaying this one, and I think I might actually display this one on my shelf instead, because that one, there's just so much more going on rather than this. Like, yeah, this was just a basic repaint. This involved remolding hair, repaints, molding the hands. This hand that's holding the kendo stick wasn't even originally on the figure. You see, this hand, this is the hand that she had before, and then I traded it out with this hand that I got from another custom piece. It was like an extra hand that I had laying around. But yeah, just so much work went into this one custom figure, waiting on so many parts, and just trying to remold the hair and trying to figure out how I'm going to do all this stuff. Like, a lot of work goes into making a custom figure. Oh man, my throat is killing me. I'm contemplating whether or not I should do a part 2 of this. 24 minutes, we're fine. I'll do these two together because these are pretty cool, and funny story and explanation behind these. So these are custom Minecraft action figures from a company called EnderToys.com. Cheap plug for you guys. But what they do is you send them a picture or a file picture of your custom Minecraft skin, and they will actually mold it into a custom action figure for you. Now, I bought two. I bought my custom skin, and then I bought one of the Gaming Terrorizers Minecraft skin. Now, I didn't realize this when I bought them, and I didn't really think of how it would affect the figure, but the way that they print them is, like, they only print, like, the top layer of your skin. So if your skin is multi-layered, then unfortunately they're only going to do what's on the first layer. Well, for Terrorizer, his top layer obviously is half face, half Terminator face. But for the action figure, they only did his Terminator underface, which, to be honest, I'm okay with, just because that looks pretty sick. The problem with mine is, when I made my custom skin for Minecraft, I needed something to start on. I needed a blank canvas, but not like an actual blank canvas. I just needed a basic white... I'm going to sound so mean saying this. I needed a basic white guy to mold my custom skin off of. And the first option that I thought of was 407, aka Scotty. So my entire custom skin was based off of Scotty's skin. So I sent the picture in of my custom skin, but my custom skin was on the second layer of the skin. This skin was on the underneath. So instead of printing my custom skin, they actually painted and printed Scotty's custom skin onto the figure. So now instead of having Terrorizer and the WRESTLEDUDE's custom Minecraft skin figures, I now have Terrorizer and Scotty. And this is the collection that I was thinking about starting is, what if I bought the entire Vanoss crew's Minecraft skin, or at least the ones that play Fortnite regularly. So what if I got Delirious and Vanoss and Nogla and basically I do work. I think that could be pretty cool. Or Smeg, who knows. But yeah, I will definitely be ordering again from these people. I'll definitely be trying to reorder my custom Minecraft skin, but I guess I'm just gonna have to figure out how to order it correctly. But yeah, this comes with a custom cape and 2 of these like little weapons or whatever. So I'll have to check out and see what items I got here in a little bit. Hold on a second. I legit have been talking for nearly half an hour straight, and I need a drink. Whew. There we go. All right, no part 2 here, baby. We're just pushing on through. And we're gonna move on to this. This I also got at Target the same day I went for that Becky Lynch Funko Pop. This is Isaiah Swerve Scott's figure, which, depending on when this video comes out, we might already know it, but there are rumors that he is going to AEW, so this is just another AEW action figure that I have. He'll definitely go on my AEW shelf, but I think it looks really good, especially for basic. I'm glad they got pretty much all the tattoos and stuff correct. And yeah, I think Isaiah Swerve Scott was a really great wrestler. I'm excited to see what Shane Strickland does in AEW or wherever else he decides to go. So yeah, that is a very nice figure that I'm glad I got to add to my collection and found in the wild instead of trying to find it for sale online, because odds are it probably would have been very overpriced. There is so much stuff sitting right here, it's hard to find space. Let's see. This is a small customization. I actually did this only a couple minutes ago, but I took my Aleister Black and I made him into Malachi Black by repainting his eye. So I did the whole the white pupil and the black around the eye. Like I said, little small customization change. I think I might try and do his updated belly tattoo at some point. So yeah, obviously he's on my AEW shelf, so I wanted to have him more up to date and Malachi Black style. I actually also moved my Keith Lee action figure and my Buddy Murphy / Buddy Matthews action figure over onto my AEW shelf, so I think they look good over there. Kind of have to speed things up here. Let's see. We have this custom Rhea Ripley based on her WrestleMania gear. Obviously, she was channeling some Dragon Ball Z gear, which I think looked really awesome. And there was a 2-pack of her and Charlotte that came out with this gear, but I didn't think it looked very good just because it was a basic, so it was missing a lot of Detco and stuff like that, and I like the articulation on this. So I made that custom figure, and I think it looks really good. I used some actual gold paint, which I think adds even more awesomeness to it. So really glad that I got that done. Like I said, kind of have to keep some of these short and sweet. This one's also very cool. I actually bought a basic Nikki Cross action figure and made her into Nikki ASH. Pretty basic repaint job. Used some molding clay to create her mask and to create her like kick pad trunks up here. And then these are actually painted on knee pads. So little quick edit or customization, but still very good one. This one is one that I'm very proud came out really well. This is my custom Rosemary action figure, and this actually started out as a Brie Bella elite action figure. And so what I did was obviously I repainted the face, I remolded the hair, I melted off all the hair and I peeled it off, and I remolded all the hair to match Rosemary's from the time. This was from 2016-esque, so I think I did a really good job. This is kind of one of my favorite versions of Rosemary and favorite face paint designs, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you guys, but I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty good, and I guess I can reveal now, the other custom belt that's coming for me is actually the version of the Knockouts Championship that Rosemary once held. So very excited for whenever that comes my way. Um, we're sticking with Impact Wrestling for perhaps my favorite custom out of any of the ones that I've worked on here. Well, actually, that's not true. I feel like Chelsea Green is still my favorite one. But this is tied. This is actually tied for my favorite custom out of everything that I'm showing you. This is a custom that I actually just finished this morning. This is a custom action figure of Impact Wrestling star Johnny the Swingman Swinger. Johnny Swinger looks very, very awesome. Very funny, great character. It's actually cool how I came up with this design. The body is actually the body of Robert Roode. So if you're wondering sort of the formula of how I did this, I bought a Robert Roode body. The entire singlet is painted on using, I think, 2 or 3 different shades of green, like lime green, neon green, stuff like that. The black lines are actually just black Sharpie. I didn't use paint. I wanted something a little bit more controllable, so I used a black Sharpie. I took some bits of a snipped up bandana and did it around his ankles, did it around his wrists as well, just because that's kind of how he rolls. And then the head. The head is the most genius part, because I was trying to contemplate, how the hell do I make a custom Johnny Swinger head? There are no websites that sell custom Johnny Swinger heads. How do I do this? And then I came upon something on the same website as I bought stuff from before, from Figure Giants, and I came upon the head of one Rob Gronkowski. So if you can see it now, this is actually the elite head from Rob Gronkowski. And what I did was, obviously, I repainted, I molded on new hair, I painted up that hair, and then from there I repainted the face a bit to give the goatee. This is also some fabric that I found, just random black fabric. Took a little bit of white paint and dabbed it on to make it into his bandana, and then I found some loose wrestling figure sunglasses online, and I took some white paint to give it that nice little shimmer look. So that is how I created Johnny Swinger. Like I said, Johnny Swinger I think is a really great character in Impact Wrestling, and I'm really glad with how this turned out, Daddy. So I think this turned out really great, and it is definitely going to be displayed front and center on my shelf. And who knows, maybe one day I'll actually get to meet Johnny Swinger at like a meet and greet or something like that. And maybe I can show this off to him, maybe even get him to sign it somewhere. on it. But yeah, I'm really proud with how this custom came out. I've been doing a lot of custom work, and this is by far, along with the Chelsea Green, by far one of my favorite custom pieces to have worked on and have completely finished. It was weeks and weeks of waiting for stuff to get in the mail and painting and obviously molding and stuff like that to finally get that done. And I'm just really glad it came out as good as it did. I was a little iffy on whether or not that Gronkowski head would look good, but it looks fucking nearly photo perfect. Like, if I just showed this to you, like, you would think that this was a legit Johnny Swinger action figure. So that's the idea that I was going for. Hopefully I achieved it. But yeah, we're moving on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items left. So I'm going to show this off. I bought some more trading cards. These are the WWE. Do these have like a specific name or something like that? Heritage or something like that? 2021 trading cards. So that'll be its own separate video, but just showing off that I got those. I did one card opening video before, and you guys seem to like that. So we've got one more in the can for you. Moving on, we have this Sting. This is the Walmart exclusive Sting with him and his Darby Allin face paints. So really glad that I got that. I have been holding on to this for quite a while, so I'm excited to finally take it out of the box and display it now that I've shown it off in the video, which is what I like to do. I like to wait until I show it to you guys before I take it out of the box and display it on my shelf, so glad I finally got around to that. These two actually go together, and thankfully I just bought them the other day, so they're not going to be in the box for long. But these are the DC Multiverse figures for the Batman. We have the Batman and we have the Catwoman, the Bat and the Cats together. I was at Walmart picking up some stuff, and they had an entire like cardboard display with a bunch of these Batman figures. Like, not just these two, but these were the only two from that set that I was wanting to get from that display. So I picked them up, and I think they look awesome. I'm excited for this film. I mean, obviously, by the time this video comes out, the movie will have already been out, and I will have probably already seen it. But I think they look great, and they will definitely go on my comic book shelf along with the Funko Pop, the Riddler figure that I got from this set. And I don't know. I mean, there's the Penguin, but I don't know if I want to pick up the Penguin just yet. I don't know. Maybe after I see the movie. I don't know. But we're moving on to our final item, which is the biggest item. It is so big, in fact, that I decided to use it as the stand for everything else to sit on. This is the AEW pop-up entrance stage. Now, in a previous video, I got the authentic scale ring, which was pretty cool. And I decided to get this just because someday soon I am probably going to be moving out of my parents' house. This is obviously where I'm living right now. And make your jokes now. Yes, I live in my parents' basement. But I mean, I take good care of it. But yeah, I do plan on moving out and having my own house, and I do plan on having an office / collection room, and in it, I do plan on creating like a nice little fancy display with the ring and with this for a lot of my AEW figures. So when the time comes, that'll be set up, but for now, it's just going to sit in the back room, collect a little bit of dust, and build anticipation for the day that I finally am able to create my arena display. So yeah, that is thankfully the end of our, I guess, customized figure edition of the Collection Corner. Thank you all for watching. Again, let me know in the comment section below what your favorite item was. What do you guys think of some of these custom figures that I've made? The Funko Pops. Keep an eye out for the card opening video. That'll happen at some point. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.